Yeah, man, it was an interesting night last night going out in Austin. Very interesting. The environment in the world is changing so rapidly. It's going to be very interesting where things end up in the next 5 to 10 years. Can you just imagine, like, so many people have no idea what's going on right now. It's so mind-blowing. What is your take on the state of the world? Like, why do you think so many people have no idea what's happening with this digital transformation? Like, is it really that we're living in an alternate matrix reality and they're really trying to hide this from people? Is it just me? I don't know. Is it you guys too? Do you see it, like, when you're talking amongst your peers or you're just out in public? Don't you notice, like, this sense of uneducated unawareness? People are distracted. I don't know. Speak on it. What's your take?
Yeah, man. I mean, go ahead, Mr. Man. I'll let you go. Take it away.
I was gonna say, yeah, there's a lot out there in the ecosystem right now to distract people, you know, from, like, there's a lot of things pulling people apart to keep us separated, which keeps the blinders up. So for instance, there's the LGBTQ thing, keeping people in that corner. There is the war taking place. There's the government spending taking place. There is individuals who are still fighting and wearing masks out there taking place. There's several things taking place which keep people blind. So when I do get the opportunity to chat with people, I want to say to my peers, but I mean, I lost most of my peers during the whole COVID scenario and situation there. But when I chat with people about what's going on, a lot of the things they say is that's not coming for the 20 years. It's like, well, where did you get this arbitrary number from? Because I can show you data and information that we're living in it right now, and it's
Literally
on the trajectory to take place in the next 5 years or so, if that.
I agree. What were you going to say, Mr. Aqua?
You know, I just think people are just still massively distracted, and the distractions run even thicker and deeper now. You know what I mean? Because it's like, when we were kids, we watched our parents being fans of different sports teams. And then I was a fan of sports teams, right, at a certain point. And then I let all that go. But like now, like, all my peers are now extremely distracted by that, because it's like they get family get-togethers and now their dad's watching the sports. And it's just like, none of this stuff matters. What only matters is if the Dodgers are in the playoffs, where they're, what's it looking like for the World Series and the Dodgers. Like, everybody in LA is extremely distracted. And I'll be that guy that just starts having that awkward conversation super loud, like, yo, you guys know the robots are coming for everyone's jobs, right?
Yo, people look at me so crazy when I tell them that 40% of jobs in the workforce is going to be replaced by artificial intelligence over the next 5 to 10 years. They're like, yo, you've been watching too much Hollywood. I'm like, no, dude, I could show you documents from the World Economic Forum, the International Monetary Fund, the Bank of International Settlements, the OECD, the Financial Action Task Force, freaking any large organization that you point your finger at that have documents that tell you that this is happening. So who sounds crazy, me or you, for not understanding the environment in which we operate in?
But you're a conspiracy theorist because they have no idea who those names even are to begin with, though.
Dude, bro, when I start throwing acronyms at people, they're like, their face just gets completely distorted. Like, they don't even know. Most people don't even know what the Federal Reserve is, man. Frank, bro, I'm going to do an introduction in a second, but we're going to keep this conversation going as more people roll in. You're in the Netherlands, bro. How is it over there? What's the environment overseas like right now?
Yeah, it's really bad, man. It's America it's just like in America. Just as the same. And it's all the people are divided. We had farmers protesting against the government. Taxes are really bad. Politics, it's a mess. Politics are rigged. We're joining the EU. We have nothing to say anymore. Everything is.
Yeah.
we have nothing to say.
So we are really in the midst of a fourth industrial revolution. I don't think I don't think normal people understand how granular that terminology is. Like, it's not just one niche in the global environment that's changing. It's literally everything. It's so mind-blowing what's happening right now. And it's, you guys are right. Absolutely. We are seeing probably the highest level of division amongst the human society right now as a whole entire population that we've ever seen in history. I mean, there's so, whether it's race, whether it's sex, whether it's religion, whether it's what sports team, like you were saying, Mr. Aqua, like what maybe what Mr. Mann was talking about, what digital asset you look at or hold, like there's so much division and tribalism right now. They have us. Y'all know who I'm talking about. So divided right now, fighting against each other. It is honestly, it's embarrassing. Like low key, kind of sometimes when I step out in public, I'm like, ugh, I don't even want to be a part of this. But then at the same time, I revert back to my community and I don't lose faith because I've met you guys and I've met other interesting people. And I'm like, there is hope for a better future if we continue to network, if we continue to grow these communities, if we continue to speak out and host events like this and continue to network and grow, there is hope. And so I try not to be too pessimistic, but man, it's hard, yo. Like it's so bad right now. Like I don't know. What the reason why I even started this conversation is because it's like I don't know why more people aren't seeking to further their education and network and join communities, even if there's a paywall on these communities. Now is the time in the midst of this fourth industrial revolution not to lose yourself and instead to find yourself, adopt and adapt to this new changing environment and prosper. Like the world is suffering right now. You don't have to be. And the people in your immediate circle don't have to be. People in our community, albeit, yeah, we have our 9 to 5 personal issues and we are attempting to, some of us are attempting to become profitable in these markets and make money in these markets. But a lot of people in the CyberX community, I could just talk from personal experience, a lot of people in Mr. Mann's community, a lot of people in Mr. Aqua's community, and now bringing Frank to the table, the community that he's going to build, we're thriving. Like a lot of us are thriving. There's a dude in the CyberX community right now that's trading more capital than me at $3.5 million. And he started in CyberX like a year ago.
Damn, he's a beast then. That's wild.
Yeah. Like, do you understand what I just said? You know what I mean? Like, I know you guys do, but the audience, like, do y'all hear what I just said? Like, CyberX gave him the key to do that. He took that key, he brought it to the door, he took the initiative to put the key in the door, open the door, and walk through it. He did that. But CyberX gave that key, gave him that ability to open that door. That's what we're experiencing right now. Like, and I'm not just hyping up CyberX because there's other communities out there that are doing similar things, right? They're helping people right now. Why? Real. I'm being honest. Like, why are more people not seeking that, like thirsting for that? Like, oh, people will be, bro, how many times, Mr. Aqua, Mr. Mann, now because you have a private community, you know, how many times have you had people say to you, oh, I gotta pay $28 to join this? What the heck? Like, are you for real, bro? Do you know what time it is? Do you know what time it is? It's time to put that mentality aside, and you're either gonna run the game and join people, like-minded individuals like yourselves that want more out of life, or you're gonna continue to complain about it and sit sideline, and you're gonna get left behind, swept under the rug. Like, it is not time for that.
Yeah, it's really not. It's time to like identify who the smart ones are in the community, who's really winning in the community, and tap in with what they're doing. And that's what drew me to you, Cypress, and the CyberX community. I was like, yo, these guys are winning over here. I'm a winner. I want to be with the winners. So I knocked on the door. You know what I mean? The rest is history.
I'll be honest, man. The other day, I dropped a thesis in my Patreon group there, and I charged, it's free for the members, but I charge $5 for anybody else who wants to see it. I got called a sellout because, and I don't take it personally at all, but this is like 4 years now of research, hard research, like 24 hours a day type research, headphones in your ears, falling asleep, waking up, rewatching, re-listening, and I'm putting this stuff to paper now. So individuals who are new or even following this industry and still haven't caught up to it can now read this 20-page document and be immediately brought up to what's going on in the industry. I got called a
So
sellout dumbass for $5.
oh, so you spend 4 years in the market doing hard 10-hour day researches, and then now you want to write reports and charge for them? Boo! Come on, bro. You deserve more than that. $5, Mr. Manfro. Your research is so astronomical. Honest to God, a financial institution would be lucky to have you on their back end digital asset research team. Okay, and you're charging motherfucking $5, bro. Like, people don't understand. This is the thing, me, because especially myself and Mr. Aqua now with the DeFi University, you pay for everything in life and you don't complain about it. Fucking Netflix overcharges you, Amazon overcharges you, Hulu overcharges you, Disney Plus overcharges you, your gas fucking thing overcharges you, your electric bill, your water bill, your grocery bill overcharges your ass. And then you got people here. I've spent 9 years in this fucking game, flipping 6 figures every single year. And I put that information in a course material and charge $28 for you to learn that with a partner, Mr. Aqua, who is also a 6-figure entrepreneur, has a business right now that he could sell for over $250,000. And you don't want to pay $28 because on your life, and you don't want to pay that paywall. You don't want to get like this is what I'm talking about. This is why we started off the conversation with that the division. Like, are you blind? Do you know people like Andrew Tate, right, are charging thousands of dollars for their course material? And I'm not saying it's not worth it, okay? But you have the opportunity to join a community that's charging you 100 times less than that, and probably, honest to God, get more value, because I know for a fact Andrew Tate ain't got institutional deltas, which are the most accurate trading deltas, institutional levels that retail traders on the face of the internet right now have access to. And we got that at CyberX. Like, and it's 20, like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, bro.
Isn't his community like 4 racks or like 7 racks?
Yeah, like, and I'm not listen, this is not throwing dirt on any entrepreneur and how much they charge, but what I'm saying is, in general, it's time to educate yourself and put the cost of things and the fear of you joining a community, get out of that. It's time to grow. So anyways, good conversation to start this off with. Now that we got people rolling in the door, 276 listeners, shout out to you guys. Appreciate you all for tapping in, whether you're my follower, whether you're Mr. Man's follower, whether you tap into Mr. Aqua's info. We also got Frank here with us today. He is one of the head CyberX researchers. So welcome, Frank. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to get started talking about today, we have so much juicy, valuable information for you all today if you stick around with us for the entirety of this video. I know it might be lengthy, but you will, for a fact, learn something. You will see something that will pique your interest to want to further your education. You will get motivated. You might be a little confused, but, you know, depending on who you are, this conversation, if you listen to it today, will enlighten you. It'll push you to want to be a better version of yourself. It'll open the door for you to see that crypto and Web3 and digital assets and blockchain and all these fourth industrial revolution technologies that are being introduced in the now are only here to stay. Institutions are coming. You have a massive opportunity no matter what route it is that you take, because we might talk about XRP today. We might talk about XLM, HBAR, all these assets that we hold in our portfolio, none of which is financial advice. Don't forget, we're not telling you guys to go out there and implement your capital into this digital asset space. Each of us here on this call have multiple thousands, if not multiple 6 figures of dollars traded and invested in these markets. And we are just here as motivational people and educational people trying to show you guys that this is happening, and this is a massive once in a lifetime opportunity, and there's nothing wrong with that. We might promote our educational platforms on this call. Again, it is up to you whether or not you open that door once we give you the key to enlighten yourselves further. Yes, there's paywalls on our community. Yes, you might have to, you know, download an application that you've never used before and learn it to access our community, but I encourage you to do so, because it will only benefit you. And if it doesn't benefit you, you can reach out to me and I will gladly give you the money that you paid for this course. But I guarantee you, you will not be reaching out to me telling me that you did not benefit from each of our communities here, because you will 110% in some way, shape, or form, whether that's you meet a multimillionaire that gives you advice, whether that's you meet a tax consultant or a real estate investor that gives you something for in exchange a paywall, whether that's you read a document, you watch a video, you read a fundamental breakdown, you see a technical analysis breakdown, you will in some way, shape, or form benefit from our communities. So anyways, with that being said, today we have Mr. Aqua on the mic. What's going on, brother?
What's good, brother? How you living?
We got I'm really good, man. I'm really good. Thank you guys for tapping in. I can't wait to see you all in another like 2 weeks. We got Frank here on the mic. This is his first time, I believe, on the call. He tried to join one before, but his service shut out. He is one of our head CyberX researchers. Unfortunately, Anthony is and has been extremely busy, so we haven't been able to get him on a call. Maybe in the future we can. And then we also got yours truly. We got Mr. Man here. What's up, brother?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. Thanks for having me again today.
So, long story short, in today's video breakdown, we're going to be discussing and talking about how early we are in this DeFi space. We're going to show you guys physical and logical examples proving that to be the case. I'm also personally, I know that Mr. Man and Mr. Aqua and Frank also have some juicy stuff for you guys to share, but I'm personally going to fixate your attention on the fact that institutions are 110% interested in adopting not only digital assets, but you have to think strategy, strategical, okay? This game is not just about investing and becoming wealthy once these assets skyrocket. It is about investing and then maintaining that wealth after in the digital realm, whether it's in the metaverse, it's in Web3, it's in blockchain, it's in artificial intelligence, whatever. Okay. How are you going to maintain the generational wealth in which you are exposing yourself to? That's the question. And we here at CyberX are seeing that one of the many ways that we're going to keep and maintain and expand our wealth, not only in the now, but in the next bull market cycle, is going to be through the utilization of decentralized finance, DeFi. Okay. Whether that's through liquid staking, lending, borrowing, liquidity providing, so on and so forth. I mean, there's such a vast list of things that you could bring your attention to in DeFi. But my goal here today is to show you guys that institutions are 110% interested. Now, in previous video breakdowns, myself, Mr. Aqua, Mr. Man, and Frank have all proven to you guys that financial institutions to a certain degree are not here yet. Yes, they're involved in crypto. Yes, they're adopting these digital assets. Yes, there's Bitcoin ETFs, but I'm talking about hundreds of trillions of dollars or even tens of trillions of dollars is not here yet. And that is for a fact. And that is because right now financial institutions are hindered. They're sidelined. They are stalled by regulatory clarity, the infrastructure that is being built out, but is not 110% complete yet, custodial solutions, so on and so forth. All of those things, however, are happening right now behind the scenes. And we have such a freaking massive opportunity. I do not think people understand. Yes, I get it that this space is very speculative. Yes, there are people on YouTube and Twitter that lie to you and mislead you to believe that $40, $50 XRP is going to happen tomorrow. We are not those people here at CyberX. Yes, we believe in higher prices of these digital assets, but we are going to show you from a logical perspective that that is most likely to be the case to unfold over the next consecutive couple of months/years. We do not put crystal ball predictions on anything here in this platform, okay? We give logical, real, sound education and fundamentals that nobody is paying attention to. I'm telling you guys right now, stick around for this breakdown. Okay. So that's what we're going to jump into today. I am your host. I'm Cypress. If you guys don't know me, if you're Frank's follower, if you're Mr. Man's follower, if you're Mr. Aqua's follower, make sure to go follow everybody here on this platform. We each have, well, Aqua's got a YouTube, Man's got a YouTube. Hopefully we get Frank doing some international content, speaking his native language, maybe open up a research YouTube as well there. But make sure you guys give everybody love and support here on the call. Go follow each of our platforms. But yeah, let's get started. I got some real juice for you guys. So before we started this call, we were talking offline, guys. And Kevin, one of probably the most active CyberX members, shared this video today in the chat this morning. And he said, bro, this has some juicy stuff. So I actually wanted to bring that up first because this is going to kind of lead us into the segment that financial institutions are 110% looking at staking, liquid staking, lending, borrowing, all through, DeFi on these public blockchains. Okay. That's the main thing I want you guys to understand is that right now, if you look at the TVL, for example, you go over and look at the TVL on Hedera, it's like 40 some odd, maybe it's no more than $100 million right now. It's very minuscule compared to Ethereum. Or if you go look at the XRPL right now on DeFi Llama, we'll take a look at it. But according to DeFi Llama, there's probably like $14 million in DeFi locked on the XRPL right now. That's nothing. That's peanuts, So let's just get started with this real quick. Give me a second. All right, so this is Amora Sexton, I believe that's how you say her name right here. She is a I don't know her position at this organization. I believe she's the CTO, if not the co-founder or something like that. She plays a large role at this organization. So this organization is called Block Demon, right? Just listen to what she says here. And then this got me, I was like, okay. She talks about institutions using her product or using their product. So I was like, let me go take a look at this organization real quick, but just listen here what she says. This is crazy.
More same question, but looking at it from Block Demon.
I think from a staking perspective, we were one of the first ones in the market to do it. And what's exciting is to see the number of networks out there at the moment who are utilizing this methodology to secure their network. We're seeing the maturity of the technology as well, both the networks that have existed for a while who are maturing their own technology or the new entrants to the market. There's the NORS, the Node Operator Risk Standards Initiative, which we're very, very excited about, which is looking at really bringing in third-party certification for validator operators to ensure that, validator operators are really meeting institutional needs when it comes to risk management, and that they can have that form of certification that would meet the standards of an enterprise due diligence. We are broader than staking, though. It is one of our products. So from a company perspective, we're really excited about some of the stuff that we're doing around our wallet technology as well. One of our products we're going to announce soon is being used by one of the world's largest financial institutions, live in production, which is, very exciting for us. And then we're
all right, so she just openly admitted that one of the world's largest financial institutions. Again, that's not coming from me. That's not coming from CyberX. This is coming from this lady that is a leading participant in this organization. Okay, I don't remember her role, but you can just look up her name. It's Amora Sexton, right? I'm sure she has a LinkedIn profile. And she just openly admitted that one of the world's largest institutions is going to be using whatever product it is that they're offering to their clients. So I was like, oh, okay, well, let me go look at this website. Bro, this is going to blow your mind because, look at this. We power a blockchain economy. This is, you got Citi, Goldman Sachs here, JP Morgan, Microsoft. I'm sure everybody knows Microsoft or used a Microsoft product, right? And then you scroll right down here, okay, and it says, at Block Demon, we're proud to offer you a choice of the finest wallet, staking, and node services and technologies available as individual offerings or as a fully integrated system orchestrated via Demon OS. You can think of Demon, hopefully I'm pronouncing this correctly, the operating system running in the background or orchestrate your blockchain-powered Web3 infrastructure and more. All right, and this is for financial institutions, okay? Look at the supported protocol. Look at this. They can earn right now XLR 7.25%. You got Celestial 13.92%. You got, hold on, if we just go to click see all protocols, check this out. They got XRP. Block Demon now offers institutional grade XRP infrastructure on chain and staking services.
Wait, where are you reading that at? Where, because
can you not can you see it right
here? There it goes. Yep.
Sorry, it was lagging a little bit. All right, so this is when you click that tab, see all protocols, this is what it takes you to. It takes you to a whole list of protocols that you can see. They got XDC here. Hold on, look.
Oh yeah, bring that back.
yeah. Hold on, I got to go back. I don't know why it froze.
Yo, this is some juice right here, bro.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. I got more. So again, remember, my goal is to prove to you guys that financial institutions are 110% interested in DeFi, because we have to understand that institutions aren't here yet. So as retail investors, why I encourage you guys, and I encourage myself and Mr. Aqua and Mr. Man, and now, Frank on this call, we're encouraging you guys to at least go educate yourselves on what's happening, because we have an opportunity now. So many people right now are like, oh, DeFi, oh, that's a scam. I'm trying to show you guys that it's not a scam. You don't have to go out and deploy. I'm not encouraging you guys to go and risk your capital, but at least go educate yourself on DeFi. And we created an educational course that teaches you how to do that. So you don't have to surf the web. You don't have to go out of your way to untrustworthy sources. You can get all compounded information bundled into one platform that you can go through and watch literally just hundreds of video breakdowns and educate yourself. What's stopping you from doing that? I'm just saying. And I'm showing you why you should. Again, this is mind blowing. So look, check this out. When you click that see all supporting leading protocols, look at this. They got Soy here, 3.59%. They got, again, XLR. They got, if we scroll down here, they got XRP, they got XDC here, they got XLM, right? So You mean to tell me that you think, like, I get it, you know, a portion of our portfolio, at least mine personally, I'm speaking for myself, is going to be sold for profit back into not necessarily fiat, but maybe some just regular stable coins so that I can pay myself back for my initial investment. And yeah, buy myself some things that I would like to buy myself if, you know, these digital assets really go to, you know, $20. If XRP went to $20, I can't even imagine what would happen because my bags would freaking rip. Okay. Now I'm just saying, but do you think I'm really going to sell more than, I don't know, 50, 70% of my XRP portfolio? Heck no. Heck no. Why? When I could take my XRP, never sell it, and just use it in DeFi and earn yield and use the money that I'm earning from my XRP like, do you even understand the logic I'm speaking to you guys? This is a smart ass principle. Why would you sell your XRP for United States dollars or fiat dollars or whatever domestic currency in whatever jurisdiction you're in when fiat currency all around the world and the old traditional financial system is decaying? What? Why on earth would you think that that is a logical? And again, teach his own. Everybody, you know, has their own opinion. I'm sure that you guys have debt you got to pay off. Everybody's situation is different. I get that. But think logically. Remember, how can you maintain and keep your wealth once you have it? It is not selling into fiat. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you talk to any multi-billionaire, millionaire, any person that I've talked to that has multi-millions, and I have billionaires in my circle, I swear I do. I could physically call somebody and prove that to be the case. Listen to what I'm saying. Every person that has mentored me that has multi-millions of dollars has told me that they look at fiat and people that have fiat and hold on to fiat as someone who is poor. I'm just saying. Billionaires, multimillionaires look at businesses and assets. Those two things. Billionaires, like
Cash flow.
Cash flow. And this digital asset space is turning into an environment where we're going to be able to use these assets for cash flow. Okay, I'm just saying. And if you don't know that, if you think that what I just said is a scam, and I'm telling you, go educate yourself because it is. And I'm showing you physical proof. So, anyways, I thought that I'd open with this because my whole goal here is to show you that institutions are starting to get access to DeFi. They're starting to get access to, earning yield on their digital assets, and they're going to want to. So let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. If we head over here, let me just prove to you guys that we are early as F in this space. So Ripple just put this out October 9th, 2024. It's talking about tokenization in Australia. I've had previous video breakdowns where I've shown how integrated Ripple is with, orchestrating the digital environment in Australia. But here I highlighted in green because it talks about the future of finance and how it's digital. It says blockchain is playing a pivotal role in this transformation. And then it says down here, as a result, decentralized finance is projected to reach $601 billion by 2032, which I personally think is a low ball, just saying. But if we head over to DeFi Llama right now, okay, you can see that the total value locked in DeFi right now is $87 billion. So even if we just went off of that low ball projection by 2032, that $600 billion is going to be locked in TVL and DeFi, that is over a 5.5, give or take 5x from where we're sitting now, right? That's massive in terms of opportunity for platforms and blockchains that are heavily integrating into the DeFi space right now, like Chainlink, like XRP, like HBAR, like XLM, XTC, all these ecosystems that didn't have DeFi ecosystems the last two bull market cycles. Do you understand that the XRPL never in history outside of this year has ever had a DeFi like ecosystem where you could go and, provide liquidity and on XRP and whatnot? Would that all changed this year with the AMM feature that launched in March?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And keep in mind too, the XRPL is pretty much like it's naked right now. It doesn't have liquid staking options just yet, right? Wait until liquid staking comes to the XRPL. Wait until lending and borrowing comes to the XRPL. And that's when that's going to be more game changing.
It's already here, bro. It's already here. It's just people don't know about it yet. People, and you and I are in the process of literally every single week discovering this stuff for our community. Like every single time we find something new, bro, Mr. Aqua literally hosts a weekly DeFi Zoom call and talks about all the new changing opportunities in DeFi for our private community. Like you don't even have to do research if you don't want to. You just check out Mr. Aqua's weekly Zoom call and tap into what the heck we're trying to show you. And it's literally insane what's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, it's so crazy that I'd say probably right now to this day, I even want to ask people, so like when we go to XRP Unleashed, that's just going to be so interesting. Like, did you know? I just want to get a consensus. Did you know that XRP now has a DeFi ecosystem? Well, the XRPL has a DeFi ecosystem, and you can take your XRP and you can earn yield on it. Again, to what degree you do that, whether you provide liquidity, so on and so forth, because again, there's multiple ways that you can earn yield and rewards in DeFi. I just want to know if you know that your digital assets could be working for you. Most people are going to tell you no, or they're going to look at you like you're talking about a scam. When again, I'm trying to show you guys that this space is for a fact becoming regulated, and financial institutions are 110% about to beat the majority of retail investors because people are not paying attention. And oh man, so many people are going to be looking back in 5-10 years from now exactly how people are looking on Amazon stock and Tesla stock right now.
Facts, bro. Yes, 1000%, brother, 1000%.
So I mean, you know, so it is, bro. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
There's just so much opportunity. I mean, you even forgot to mention Sui, bro. I mean, look at Sui and like. Look at what the call out you gave to everybody in the community, you know, for Sui just a few months ago, and look at where Sui's at now. And like, bro, Sui has so much potential as well. And it's
Dude,
just,
I bought so much Sui. I'm so happy. That's I sent you guys that picture in the chat the other day where my portfolio hit for the first time ever. And bro, it was very motivating. And that was because we were buying Sui at like 50 cents. I don't remember we were talking about memes, bro. We were talking about how we were putting a whole bunch into memes like maybe like back in like March, April, when we first started linking and talking about all this.
yeah.
Okay. And I took that 10 grand that I had in the meme coin that you invested in. Remember, I have the other one. I got Brett, right? And we have that other one. Okay. I took 10 grand out of that one and I put that in the Soy at 50 cents, bro. It was it was cool.
Yeah. You got paid out, my friend.
No, it's just cool because, you know, so many things are happening in DeFi and Soy. Like one-sided liquidity providing in Soy, where you can just take your Soy and just like, you know, one-sided liquidity providing. That's going to be a feature that unfolds rapidly in the near future. And why sell it? Why sell it when you were buying it at 50 cents and now it's worth $2.17 and you could go provide liquidity with and earn, you know, 20%, 30%. I'm going to be holding it for till 2030 anyway. I don't plan on selling any of my digital assets early. Like this is a very long-term investment. That's why I day trade. So I don't have to, you know, but can you imagine what Soy is going to be like in 2032? Why would I want to sell it now?
Yeah, brother. Yeah. You can get that bad boy working for you. You could get it working for you a couple times too.
Literally just printing. Even if it fluctuates back to the downside, it's just printing right now. It's a long-term hold. It's a blue chip, bro. Like, come on.
Yeah.
XRP is a blue chip. It's a blue chip. It's been in the top 10 performing assets for multiple years. It's a blue chip. Even if, okay, so let me ask y'all this question before we continue, because I'm going to answer it. And I want to know your opinion. What is your most favorite thing about DeFi? For me, right off the bat, it's that I literally don't worry about my long-term portfolio anymore. Like it has alleviated my mindset around immediate price action. Because I'm a day trader, I fixate to immediate price action because I'm heavily involved with intraday price action. So I always know where XRP price is at. I always know what the market sentiment is, you know, whether it's risk on, risk off. So when XRP is dropping in value, freaking, you know, 10% and people are freaking out and they're like, oh, Ripple's dumping on you. No, here at CyberX, we actually do fundamental analysis and we figure out why the digital assets are declining in value and what's sucking liquidity out of the markets, because there's fundamental factors that do that. It's not just, oh, Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse CEOs dumping on you. People are just uneducated and make you believe that that's why, because that's not why. You can literally track their wallets and you can see this yourself. Like,
yeah. Everything's on chain, baby.
yeah. So anyways, my favorite thing about DeFi is that it alleviates my fear around, or not fear, but mental hurdles around price action in my long-term portfolio. For example, I've seen my portfolio, my long-term bags drop 25, 30K in, I don't know, weeks, like a matter of weeks, and then go back up 100K. You like normal people can't stomach that. I'm sorry, you can't. Like most people, bro, they got their wives chapping in their ear. They got a 9-to-5 job that they can only put $40 in, which is not a bad thing. If that's your scenario, by all means. But those types of people that have no education and no help and no support, and they put $1,000 into crypto, they don't have $1,000 to risk, and then crypto does a freaking 40% drop and their money turns into $600, and they have no guidance and they've been getting manipulated all their lives. They're going to be like, yo, crypto's a scam, and they're going to pull out and they're going to lose out on this opportunity because they just ignore it. It's so sad, bro, what's happening right now.
Yeah, man.
But that's my favorite part about DeFi.
My favorite part for me is it just, it gives me even more patience. Like just kind of piggyback what you're saying. Like, you need patience to stomach the twists and turns of the way these markets move. And when you see your digital assets, or a portion of your digital assets working for you, earning you yield, you're like, you know what, I'm okay. You know what I mean? Like, let's create a strategy now. Let's create a strategy where we can buy when we really start bleeding, and I'll have some stable coin on the sideline to buy up that bleeding, moment. You know what I mean? A huge discount moment. So it's just like applying yourself and understanding DeFi can give you a whole new vision and a whole new way that you move in this ecosystem. So yeah, I would have to say for me, it's patience. Patience.
Yeah, you know what? Just to piggyback off of what you said before we hear Mr. Men's and Frank's responses, that DeFi is literally like the perfect perfect integration of both trading and long-term investing, because it gives you that dopamine fix that you want when you're a long-term investor and a day. You know how like those long-term investors that are new that come into the space and they want like immediate price action. They want like, they've been watching $40 XRP price Moonboy videos, and they come in and they're like, dang, I bought XRP at 62 cents. Now it's 55 cents. What the heck? I want some money. I want some price appreciation. Well, DeFi solves that, like, low key, because you're making $5 a day, $10 a day, $20 a day, and you can take that and reinvest it, again, not financial advice, into the digital assets that you want to keep purchasing and continue to build your bags, no matter what the price is at. Whether XRP is at 62 cents, whether it's at $50, or whether it's at 10 cents, you're going to be able to do this with XRP. You can always generate income, which is what I was talking about. Assets. They're literally called digital assets. They're not called digital liabilities. They're called digital assets. Like, they can be, anyways. So that's I love that about DeFi. Like, I literally could care less. If XRP goes to $10, I'm like, cool, so be it. It goes to $10. Yeah, I'm going to take my initial investment out, so that it's the way my investment is break even. It's free. It's risk free. It's risk free. And I'm just giving an example. If I have $50,000 invested in an XRP and XRP goes to freaking $50, I'm going to at least take $50,000 off the table. So that way my investment is risk free, and everything else I'm probably going to keep, honest to God, because it doesn't matter if XRP is $50 or 50 cents. I'm going to use it in the same way. And that's to generate more income.
Yeah. You just gave yourself a $50,000 annual raise, because now you can get $50,000 working for you in DeFi, baby.
Like, you can literally put that 50 grand in stable coins that are earning freaking 17 to 10%.
Yes, man.
That's what I like about DeFi. You can hedge yourself with stable coins. You can earning 20% on your stables, and when the market is bleeding, you can put it into the market. But if the market is going down, you're still earning on your stable. So yeah, that's what I like about DeFi the most.
Heck yeah, Mr. Man, what you got, bro?
Yeah, man. I like the fact with DeFi now, as we enter this technological era, the fact that I'm in control, like 100% in control of my money and where it goes, and the fact that DeFi give me options. And because now we have data, because it's all like data is the new gold, because you have data, you can make like actual visual moves now. So I was able to take 34K and run that up to 6 digits, no word of a lie. And I post this in my group as well, my Patreon. And later on today, I'm going to be telling people how I did that. I'd taken 34K. So I had a house, rental properties. I started off my journey in real estate. From real estate, I sold a house, flipped some of that money, only a small portion of that money, into DeFi. That DeFi money, I ran that up to 6 digits, and it kept me in control because I have data and I can make moves based off of that data itself, whether it's I'm earning fees or the fees are negative, and I see the price appreciation of the initial deposit from those assets as well. So you can make moves just based on what you see because you have actual data in front of you at this point.
Mm-hmm. You know what else I really like, and this is somebody's gonna mute. This is not. I don't want to take it too hard, like warming, but like DeFi gives you equal access. An individual that I follow very closely, she's written multiple digital asset regulations in the space more recently this year as well. I've done multiple videos on her. Her name's Loretta Joseph. One thing that I heard her talk about months ago, they were in a panel discussion with the XDC network for like Blockchain Australia or Week or something like that. And she said that right now we're at such a moment in history where, you know, equal access is happening on a granular scale. It's not just about the price of these assets, not just about the price of Bitcoin. It's the fact that someone in Africa in the lowest income earning area has the same access now to the new financial system with nothing but a mobile device and internet connection, same access that somebody in the most expensive part of California, like Malibu, has. And that is so life-changing. So right now, someone in Africa has $20 in XRP, right? And someone in Malibu, California has $20 in XRP. They both have the equal opportunity right now to earn yield on that XRP. And let's, again, because obviously, of course, Africa has its own currency and whatnot, but let's say it is 20 US dollars, both valued in XRP. And that person in Africa puts that $20 in XRP into the DeFi ecosystem and starts earning on that XRP and then recompounds that over the next year, compared to the individual in Malibu that does nothing because they're spoiled and they've had access to this this life where they're like, I don't even need crypto. My grandfather gave me XRP and I'm just going to hold it, whatever. Don't even need it. That person in Africa that has equal access to the new financial system is going to have 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, 100 times more XRP and money than the person in America. And so what you have to understand is that all these people, these billions of people that have never had access to the financial system in this way before, they are coming too. It is not just these institutions that are coming. It is these people that have and have not had the things that you and if you're listening to this, most likely, you know, you have access to Wi-Fi, you have access to internet, and you're probably sitting somewhere or driving somewhere. So you have a vehicle or something, you're in a car, like you're probably much more well taken care of than the people who are not listening to this, who are suffering right now. And those people that are suffering right now, they are coming. They are coming and they're bringing billions of dollars. It's not going to happen overnight, but they're creating this infrastructure right now for all of this to take place. So come on now, y'all got to wake up. Like, we have such a massive opportunity. People are just sleeping on it. So anyways, that went off on a tangent. Let me continue back down my rabbit hole to show you guys that institutions are 100% coming. So check this out. Let's move on. I want to get into some link developments. This is a video breakdown from about a month ago. Just listen to what, since we're on the topic of like earning yield and whatnot, listen to what Sergey says here about how yield, and once the search for yield increases, it's going to create a massive boom in DeFi. Take a second here and just listen.
Or even startups, essentially. Yeah, so I think the yield is definitely something that's a key component, and the yield farming and yield distribution mechanisms definitely help to increase that yield and distribute it to more and create like a virtuous cycle there. I think once the fundamental source of yield kind of dropped down, though, you got a lot of people trying to, let's say, creatively generate yield that wasn't really backed by much value. I feel like without a really core source of yield, that's kind of where DeFi gets stuck in cycles on. I feel like we're finally getting out of that mode. And with the interest rate going down, I think we're in a place where now DeFi can have that big yield boom again, possibly. In terms of RWAs.
And what do we talk about in the CyberX community? What is happening on a global scale right now? Interest rate cuts from multiple central banks, ECB, Bank of Canada, Bank of England, right? Federal Reserve. This is not going to happen overnight, but people wake up. The transition is happening. All this money that is about to be in high search for yield as we head into a low interest rate environment is another main reason why this asset class is about to go pop. And not only that, but we're seeing increased institutional adoption. We're seeing a regulatory environment that has never been sound and principle for these financial institutions to come on board. And that is all changing. That is all changing. The green light is about to come. Like, I'd say that no longer than mid 2026, that's your last hope. Like mid 2026, regulations will be very, very much more established than they are now. And I mean, if we're already seeing institutions like BlackRock, JP Morgan, State Street, Franklin Templeton, Aberdeen, like all these digital assets and wealth, like, oh my God, bro, it's so crazy what's happening right now. All right. I think, Mr. Man, just real quick before you play that, let me just play 2 more clips and then I'm going to let you have a little because it looks like you want to share something. Is that what that is right there? You pulled your screen up.
Yeah. This just goes hand in hand with exactly what you're talking about right now with the confluence and showing that institutional adoption is happening right now.
Your screen is on. Is it a video?
It's a 30-second video.
Yeah, go ahead and play it, and then I'll play the 2 video clips after because it'll go hand in hand with the 2 video clips that I have.
Okay, cool.
For European banks, the time to act is now. Forces have never previously converged in this way as we see it now. During previous bull markets, banks and financial institutions always had the risk of a regulatory uncertainty. Even if digital asset represented a viable and an intriguing business opportunity, the technology and the infrastructure took a bit of time to develop. Both are now in a much more mature state than ever before. And 2024, for the first time, all 3 conditions, market, regulation, and infrastructure, are finally all in place. This is a huge opportunity for banks across Europe, and the time to capture it is now.
It's now, bro. I swear to God, you know, stuff like that makes me so freaking happy because, my dude, I've been trying, like, it's so crazy that people will talk shit about us on Twitter and be like, you don't know what you're talking about. Like, bro, this is not my opinion. I get this information, and I know that Mr. Man gets this information with so many more credentials than people on Twitter, bro. Like, come on. That's fact. You know, if I watch YouTube, if you go look at my YouTube history, it's just institutional videos. It's just panel discussions. It's just banks talking. It's freaking these private financial action task force meetings, bro. I be watching the Financial Action Task Force talk to the Bank of International Settlements, talk to the IMF, and it is the most boring shit I've ever heard. But what are they talking about? They're literally talking about the transformation. They're talking about the global economies. They're talking about interest rates. They're talking about businesses and massive institutions, artificial intelligence, fucking data privacy, data security, like all of this digital identity. That's literally what they're talking about right now. And it's crazy that people think that researchers like us are the crazy ones, when in reality, full matrix reversal, it is actually you being crazy for not paying attention to what's actually happening. And it's most likely because people are distracted, bro.
Yeah.
Back to what we started off this whole entire video with, the full circle shit. Like, it is really, there is a war right now happening, people. It's not just the 4th Industrial Revolution. It is a global war on our brain, psychology.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. 100%, man. And they keep, you know, part of that is, you know, the water, you know what I mean? To not go off too much of a rabbit hole, but it's the food, the water, the TV. You know what I mean? Like, if you're still eating McDonald's, like I just watched on the news on Yahoo Finance, they said that they had an E. coli breakout, deadly E. coli breakout, people dying from eating McDonald's. Like, yo, like.
And Trump was just serving burgers at McDonald's, wasn't he, the other day?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So let's continue down the rabbit hole, because again, we got to jump back on train. So much juicy information. All right, shout out to everybody that's listening. As you guys can tell, what I say at the beginning of this, if you stuck around, you're gonna learn something we were gonna say was gonna blow your mind. Tell me we haven't been laying down heat and juice so far. All right, come on now. Not even trying to toot my own horn, but we don't. You go and you watch other YouTubers and influencers on the internet, and what are they talking about? They're always talking about the same shit, y'all. They're always talking about price prediction this, Ripple SEC this, know your assets this, and they don't even know what the heck. That's just so mainstream. If you want to jump in behind the scenes and you don't want mainstream, then tap into what we got to offer. Mr. Man's also as well got his own private thing going on, and I'm just telling you guys, are going to learn and benefit for real. It's like so many people. You know, they think they're playing a winning game, but they're not playing a winning game. They're just distracted into believing they are because they're participated in something that's so small right now that it makes you feel like part of a community very easily. And most communities right now in this space, they're getting the wrong info. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much, low key. You know. So, anyways, all right. Let me continue down this rabbit hole. Let's share this real quick. We're gonna go back to that video of Sergey, and this is, by the way, I think it's the founder of Aave that he's speaking to.
Yeah, that is for sure.
And again, remember this info is it's relatively new, so it's only about a month old. So listen to how he talks about how if you're in DeFi, if you're in this room, because they're talking about DeFi, it literally says the rise of DeFi is the title of this video. He says everybody in this room, if you're in DeFi right now, you're in the right place. And then I'm going to play another video clip of Sibos 2024 that just happened literally like last week, right? Of an individual saying that asset managers are going to need to give their clients access to DeFi because they're going to want access to yield bearing assets in this new digital ecosystem. So just listen here, what Sergey says.
Different kinds of tokenization models. And I think that if
Sorry, excuse me. It's not Sergey that says this. It's the co-founder of Aave. His name's Stani Kulachov.
If this particular kind of like fundamental framework is solved, and there's like a really good standard for it, and someone will do that. Hopefully, Aave some way can be supportive on that essentially, and extending and growing that credit. And obviously, what we do with Chainlink is really fascinating because when you have essentially proof of reserves, you actually have a more valuable, more kind of like auditable collateral as well down the line. So I do think it's a really fundamentally one of the biggest problems to solve now, and I think that's you're all in the right place at the moment.
Yeah, I think the way it really looked for DeFi, and I think the way it's going to look for RWAs, the way it's going to look for our whole industry, is that it's.
So he just said, right, this is the founder of Aave, which is one of the biggest DeFi platforms right now in the space, okay? They're doing work with traditional financial players. You can go look that up on your own time. That is for a fact. He just said, you know, in talking at a DeFi panel, you're all in the right place. And then he giggled afterwards, like, when you hear a giggle like that, you're pretty damn confident, you know, like, so with that being said, I was looking more into the individual that was sitting on, because I hold Chainlink, on the panel discussion with him, who is Sergey. He is the co-founder of Chainlink. And listen here what he says at Sibos 2024. By the way, this is from 3 days ago, only has 798 views. Keep in mind that I just showed you guys Ripple's projecting the DeFi market space to increase to $601 billion by 2032. I just showed you guys DeFi Llama, 80 some odd billion dollars locked in TVL and DeFi. Listen to what he says here about how asset managers are going to want to provide DeFi to their clients. Think about that. Institutions are here yet. So this is me confirming to you guys that we're early. We're early. The smart money, which I'm going to also prove to you is coming, is not here yet. Listen to what he says.
Start off. If I can ask you, please, what you think has triggered this increasing adoption of blockchain technology by asset managers, and also what technology is needed?
Sure. So I think the asset management industry, the buy side, has often driven capital markets towards new technologies and new ways of doing things because they're, in a certain sense, the foundational end user and customer of what the financial system does. I think the asset managers have kind of adopted blockchain technology in a faster way than many have expected in the capital markets, specifically BlackRock's BUIDL, some of the funds from Fidelity, some of the great work by Franklin Templeton and others, right? So you've kind of started to see the buy side drive adoption of blockchain technology, which has made everyone else who serves the buy side in some form pretty interested in that problem. That has been one of the big factors. Another big factor is the efficiency gains that are generated by applying blockchain technology to problems of settlement, collateral management, payments, and various other more back office problems that are extremely valuable, but not particularly well understood, even by some of their users, because it kind of just works. But when you actually look at how it works, you see a lot of room for improvement. So there's these two big categories of adoption. And in the second category, you're seeing more and more stable coins, some central bank digital currency work, payments work, collateral management type work, settlement related work. And then in the first category, you're seeing more and more real world assets and tokenized funds from large asset managers and new issuances by banks of tokenized digital assets of various types. That is, in the next year, going to merge into a very productive active market, because now you'll have a asset and you'll have an efficient payment method. And as those two things continue to meet more and more, you'll see more and more adoption, because the efficiency and the ease of use of the payment method and the ubiquity of more and more available ways to buy and interact with digital assets, and the growth and the amount and quality of digital assets as inventory and financial products, that will naturally create a growing market. That's what we're.
So he's talking about naturally a growing market being created right now. What he's talking about is the infrastructure is being laid. He literally just opened the door for you guys. If you have an imagination, close your eyes and listen to what Sergey said. He just explained to you the back end core banking infrastructure and how it's all changing. He literally just physically broke that down for you guys, created a layout that you'll have to visually represent in your head. But he has meetings with institutions. He knows what's happening in the back end infrastructure. He just broke that down for you guys in detail, how that's all changing and how that will lead to scaled adoption and how it's happening for the first time ever. He literally said this has never happened before. This is all happening now, right? That is so monumental, because listen here what he says.
What we're starting to see, and which the asset management industry has kind of really in earnest kind of shot the gun in the air and started the race because of the adoption they're seeing. Interestingly enough, they're seeing that adoption in large part from the public blockchain community. So I think you will see the institutional TradFi community view DeFi and the public blockchain community as a big, valuable customer base. And then I think what you're also going to see in the coming year is more and more of the TradFi community's users wanting access to DeFi yields and DeFi systems, and the TradFi folks will be in a position where they have to think of ways to provide that access.
I mean, I don't know how else to drop the bomb, bro. Like, do you understand? And what did I just show you guys at the beginning of this, right? I showed you a company right here that is providing institutional access to staking, right, for these digital assets. You got XLR. Yeah. So it's at the point now where it's like, if you're going to deny this stuff, then like we keep saying, you're going to get left behind in a way where it's like people don't really see the back end. They just see all these bullish Moonboy price predictions on YouTube that make them impatient. They just see all the people on Twitter flooding everybody out. You got to dig into this stuff. Here is another video breakdown. Let me stop sharing my screen and present it in a different way so you guys can hear it. But listen to what this guy says here. This is another video from Cybos, I believe. Excuse me. It's Nikki. I'm not going to butcher that last name. Geez Louise. Yeah. He's a highly reputable individual at Chainlink. And listen to what he says here. He talks about how we are in the early stage before financial institutions come into this space. Take a second here and listen.
A technology in search of a problem to solve. And the past year, I've seen a lot of mainstreaming and financial institution adoption of blockchain. So we used to ask, are banks ready for blockchain? But now we're looking at how they're adopting it. How are you seeing those levels right now?
Yeah, I completely agree. And I've been on that journey for a number of years now. And being at Cybos, it's amazing to see the contrast, even within 12 months. So the way I described it in 2023 was you could, when you thought about how banks are dealing with blockchain technology, the adoption, and importantly, the problems, the customer problems that they're solving, that adoption level, last year for me in 2023 was palpable. But I think now we've seen an emergence in far greater scale adoption across a wide range of use cases, across a wider range of geographies, and with a wider group and array of participants. So I think we've really made that transition from it being palpable to now we're starting to see that it being tangible. And these first tangible points about really not just POCs and pilots, but full production scale deployments, live transactions that are being undertaken within regulated financial environments. And so that really, then we think about the nature of how organizations are using this as a stepping stone to then what comes next. Then now we're at that point where the earliest stages of scaling up some of these particular transactions. And I think given the way the banking sector...
Bro, I don't even want to lay out the rest of the juice he's got. He literally just confirmed that we're just not there yet, people. Come on. We're still in the proof of concept phase, but we are about to exit that proof of concept stage in the next probably year to year and a half max. Like, we are on the very tipping point of all of this really coming into fruition. And I mean, you know, because of the way that the mainstream crypto ecosystem has people's brains manipulated in a little juice bowl, so many people are about to just get, bro. So reason why I showed you that is because yet again, you know, they're talking about DeFi. Let me wrap up my spiel because I want to get you guys on the floor here. Chainlink just recently, this was announced October 24th, 2024. Chainlink brings DeFi to Bitcoin with Spider Chain and CCIP. Talks about how, as part of this partnership, Botanix Labs has joined Chainlink's Scale program. The program promotes sustainable growth of decentralized protocols by providing essential resources for long-term success. Chainlink Scale will allow Botanix to access to premium Oracle services, including data feeds, and reduce operational costs during the early phases of Spider Chain network. Operational cost is one of the reasons that financial institutions are hindered, and that's starting to change, right? Then here, look at this. Remember I told you guys to be watching World Economic Forum and IMF talks? Well, I was watching this forum the other day, and they were talking about Chainlink. They were talking about DeFi. I was like, nah, I cannot believe I'm freaking 4 hours. I was 4 hours, bro. Listen, this is crazy. I was 4 hours into this video, which I shared in the private CyberX research chat, right? It's like 8 hours long. And I was like, all right, I'm about to be done. I'm going to quit. This video is too long. It's too boring. There's no juicy information. Then all of a sudden I come back from making my coffee and I hear them say Chainlink. And I'm like, no, what? Wait, hold on. Let me dial in. So I watched about another 30 minutes and this is what they were talking about. So look, October 11th, 2024. Like, this is going to blow your mind. WEF, World Economic Forum, talks DeFi regulation, HKD stablecoin, and integrates Chainlink.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't say they're talking about crypto. I didn't say they're talking about blockchain. They're talking about DeFi. And what are they talking about? Regulations. Look at this. Welcome to Finance Redefined, your weekly dose of essential decentralized finance insights. A newsletter crafted to... Okay, hold on. This week, the World Economic Forum backed a sandbox. Remember, we're still in the proof of concept phase, and we are going to eventually come out. And what I've shown you guys is that they are building the infrastructure and laying the foundation for financial institutions to adopt and offer DeFi to their clients. Do you understand? And look at what they're talking about. We know that they need regulations, and look at what they're doing. They're literally creating sandboxes, which are proof of concepts. They're testing grounds. Imagine a little kid playing in a sandbox, right? They can test this shit. They can send transactions. They can do all this stuff without affecting price action. Do you understand that? Okay. I hope people do that are listening, that exists. Anyways, look at this. This week, World Economic Forum does a sandbox first approach in DeFi adoption, urging regulators to use regulatory sandboxes to build innovation and manage risks in DeFi. World Economic Forum backs this sandbox, and it's urged regulators and policymakers to conduct DeFi-related innovations and experiment within regulatory sandboxes. The statement from the World Economic Forum aims to focus on risk mitigation and assurance of transparency, created tailored approaches to DeFi regulation. The World Economic Forum said here that countries adopting a nimble sandbox approach had shown signs of advancing DeFi innovation by addressing inherent risks in DeFi. Okay, this is massive. So when I heard this, I was like, nah. And then they were talking about how the IDA integrates with the HDKA stablecoin with Chainlink. And you just heard Sergey mention that the ability to transact with stablecoins and these crypto assets, these digital assets, is becoming sound in principle in the core banking infrastructure behind the scenes. Come on now, people, put two and two together. Like, you know, anyways, moving on, another video clip here. This is an individual saying that, and by the way, the title of this is from Token 249 just a couple of weeks ago, DeFi Titans, the path to resurgence, right? Listen to what he says here about how we're at a DeFi inflection point.
I think there's a lot of, catalysts coming up in the fall with the US elections. Stani's been tweeting about a DeFi renaissance. So I'm curious what you guys are looking for in the next couple months for the rest of the year in terms of the market, and how is this cycle different from the others?
So I think that what I think of when Stani is talking about DeFi renaissance, I think of it as like there's a, it's a DeFi inflection point that is coming. And
right? So that just falls in line with exactly what we're talking about, how this is not going to happen overnight. But remember, I showed you guys $88 billion locked in TVL and DeFi, and Ripple projecting, $601 billion by 2032. And look at what the XRPL is doing right now. They're incorporating a massive DeFi ecosystem, which I know you guys are going to cover today, right? moving on, this individual, I believe, let me just show you guys who this is real quick. He is the dang, he's one of these individuals down here. We got co-founder of Aave Labs, we got founder of Sky, we got a founder of Infinex. All right. Just look up their credentials so you guys can see who they are. But look at what this dude says. He talks about how every person in the planet eventually is going to utilize DeFi. And then the last video I'm going to play is how they're talking about, because I'm going to play them back to back, how lending and borrowing is going to scale. And then I'm going to play one last video clip of an individual saying that smart money is not going to leave the ability to operate in DeFi via lending and borrowing on the table. So he literally is confirming, after these gentlemen confirm to you that this is only going to scale, that institutions are interested. So just listen to hear what they say real quick.
Financial infrastructure that is available to anyone. It's resilient, and the last point is that it's also it's also profitable. So we have these decentralized organizations like for example Sky and Synthetics and Aave, where these are open communities where people make decisions, choices, and actually these public goods make revenue, and that revenue is then streamlined back to the users in terms of different types of rewards and to grow and expand these public goods more further. And I think this is a really fascinating phenomena to follow and build upon, because DeFi is not about just creating financial opportunities that are based on distribution of governance power or community membership, but it's about actually creating something really valuable that can be applicable to every single person on the planet. And we see DeFi now, and so in the past, I started
right. So imagine if, considering that right now there's only 520 million or some odd users like that in crypto. Imagine when we get to 2 billion users, and half of those users, that's a billion people, are utilizing DeFi, the opportunity that's at hand. Last but not least, in this video, he talks about lending and borrowing and how it's going to scale. And then I'll play that last video clip of the gentleman on stage mentioning that institutions, smart money is not going to leave that opportunity behind.
And now we're focusing on the Aave V4, and which is going to be more efficient infrastructure for all types of lending and borrowing. And the reason to actually make more efficient infrastructure is that the whole lending and borrowing landscape will change a little bit. Will not change, but it will expand. So there's going to be different types of value coming on chain, from RWAs to all different kinds of initiatives. And we want to prepare Aave to be a
right. So he just talks about preparing Aave for this wave of capital that's about to onboard into the space via lending and borrowing. Now listen to this gentleman here. Okay. He goes on to confirm that financial institutions are not going to leave that opportunity on the table.
A market that's north of 10 trillion of assets. It's all paper.
Yeah.
There's really no digitization, blockchain or otherwise. And so I think it's only a matter of time until you can perform those other functions, lend, borrow, provide liquidity to facilitate trading, these types of things, which also enhance your returns.
Yeah.
Right. So by making it composable, now you can actually boost your return on top in a fundamental way.
Yeah.
And so I don't think, smart money is going to leave that on the table once they understand the mechanics.
Yeah.
Boom, drops the mic. Smart money is not going to leave that on the table once they understand the mechanics. Remember, we talked about the TVL locked. Well, let's just go look at Hedera real quick, because look at what Hedera is doing. We're on the topic of incorporating institutions into the DeFi ecosystem. Look at this, $47 million of TVL locked in the Hedera ecosystem. Well, if we go back to a post that I made for you guys, this is back from July 15th, when me and Mr. Aqua started telling you guys about DeFi, like super heavy, after we figured out how to compel and organize and, condense all the video material that we were creating, showing you guys that, we were earning in DeFi to create our DeFi university, right? This is when I put this post out. Last bull market, XRP, XLM, HBAR had no DeFi ecosystem helping boost the momentum like ETH did. That all has changed. You've seen nothing but DeFi developments on the XRPL, Stellar, Org, and Hedera, right? The ride this time will be different. utility bull run or not, we're about to have a DeFi bull run. Like, check this out. Look at this. This is from the HBAR Foundation just yesterday, October 4th or 24th, 2024. Institutional DeFi requires interoperability across the EVM. So what took place? Layer 0, the omni-chain interoperability protocol with over $500 billion in value transferred so far, has integrated with Hedera to establish the future of the ecosystem and the network. Through Layer 0, developers can apply omni-chain apps natively on Hedera and extend 70 plus other chains, including Solana, Base, Arbitrum, so on and so forth. It says alongside this integration with Hedera network, Layer 0 builds on our previous work with Copper, right? So if we pause right there, what happened with Hedera and Copper? Okay, this is the announcement, by the way, straight on the HBAR Foundation website. Okay, but going back to the Copper mention, well, back in August 13th, 2024, Copper integration affirms Hedera as an institutional DeFi leader, right? We are excited to announce an integration with Copper, a leader in digital asset custody, collateral management, and a prime services, bringing a trusted partner to HBAR custody, staking, and DeFi transactions. Copper literally is an institutional provider platform, like provides access from financial institutions into this digital asset space, and they're partnered with Hedera, who just made a DeFi announcement talking about, look at this again, what did they say? This isn't coming from me, institutional DeFi right here. That's the first two words in their most recent post, right? And how many HBAR holders out there don't even know? They're just buying up HBAR because their favorite YouTubers like $20 HBAR. Oh, tomorrow, blah, Fibonacci, blah. Like, okay. So last but not least, because I know Mr. Mann wants to share something real quick, but in their post, right, they're talking about the EVM sidechain, right? Interoperability across the EVM. Well, do you all remember? I remember stuff that I watch, and because these are all the videos I watch. Check this out. This is Tyrone Lobin from JP Morgan. Okay, listen to him confirm that they are testing out DeFi, and this is all in order from when they leave the proof of concept testing environment on private blockchains for them to drag and drop onto public blockchains. And that's why they're building on the EVM sidechain. Listen to what he says here.
To maybe more public, or what you guys are using today. And Eric, I know you have really interesting opinions on where that's going to go in the future.
Yeah, and maybe I can just provide a little bit of context in terms of just the traditional financial services market and how we think about the requirements really to be able to operate a safe and sound system. So JP Morgan processes about $10 trillion of payments every day. That's 400 times the global stablecoin daily volume. The global FX market is about $5 trillion. And so when we think about utilizing blockchains as a settlement layer, we need the infrastructure to actually support these volumes, and we need them to support the scale that the traditional financial services market is at.
So he's literally not denying that $10 trillion is not going to come on chain, but he's saying that in order for them to bring that on chain, the infrastructure has to be there. What did Sergey explain to you is happening right now? What did all the other participants on stage explain to you is happening right now? That whole entire building of the infrastructure for these institutions to come on board, it is happening. It is undeniable that that is happening right now. If you try to combat against that, I don't know what else to show you, so just listen to what he further says.
So right now, clearly, there are a number of reasons, both technological wise, but also regulatory wise, as to why we have to use permissioned blockchains. However, you can think about these, globally ever-present, always up, highly redundant public blockchains as a really, really attractive settlement layer that can, service this global market. However, until we actually solve some of the key challenges, specifically around privacy, specifically around things like AML, KYC, it does become difficult for us to fully step into that environment. We did a project last year with the Monetary Authority of Singapore where we demonstrated what it would actually look like for a regulated institution like ourselves to utilize public DeFi protocols, to utilize public blockchains. And very clearly, there were lots of very insightful learnings for us. The transparency that you get around DeFi pools, for example, the ability to have anytime price discovery through a DeFi protocol, very, very important and interesting. Also, the lower cost. But as I said, until we actually have some clarity around the ability to actually operate on this infrastructure from a reg perspective, we're going to have to be in this sort of permission view until we can take some of the hybrid steps. And those hybrid steps look like some of the existing infrastructure that is coming out right now around subnets or permission zones or these kinds of things. And from our perspective, the reason why we operate an EVM sidechain is so that everything that we build can actually be portable into a public environment. So all of our contracts are written in Solidity. We use ERC20s for the most part for our tokens. All of our developer tooling is, utilizes the public Ethereum ecosystem's tooling set. So actually moving into the public blockchain environment when we can will be much of a sort of a lift and drop scenario.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I don't even know if your jaw didn't just hit the floor after he said that. I don't know what else to show you, because look at exactly what the HBAR Foundation just announced. Institutional DeFi requires interoperability across the EVM sidechain. He just explained to you why they're building it that way, So anyways, my spiel, I got to take a break because my throat is killing it. So I'm going to let one of you guys take over. But before I do that, real quick, since we got 700 listeners on the live right now. All right. Many blessings to you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you are one of my followers, do me a favor. Seriously, 700 people on this call right now. We should be able to get Frank right here running the CyberX Research Labs team right now on his back. Created the Twitter and ran that up to 300 followers within a month, organic. So, go over there, head over there, give him a follow. Look at some of the stuff he's been posting and researching about CBDCs, digital transformation, digital asset revolution, regulation, so on and so forth. Just all good, non-opinionated research. All right. He's got a Twitter he's running over there, just at CyberX Research Labs. You guys can click. He's on the live right now. We also got Mr. Aqua. If you're one of my followers or one of Mr. Man's followers, go give Mr. Aqua some love. He's got some really good, juicy information showing you how to use liquidity pools and get your digital assets working for you. Then we got Mr. Man. You guys don't even know, how. I think if you guys have just came into the conversation, we were talking about Mr. Man and how his services, at the end of the day, they're worth so much more than $5 for a breakdown. He's got institutional insights. He's got research capabilities that I've never seen in this space before, digging up documents that take people and would take people hours to read, right? And he's doing that for you guys on his free time. So go give him a follow, So anyways, my spiel is done. I feel like I've dropped the mic. I've confirmed for you guys now that financial institutional interest in DeFi is 100% there. They're building out the infrastructure now. This is why you should get involved and educated. Myself, Mr. Aqua, Mr. Man, we're not telling you guys to go out there and friggin' get involved in DeFi and expose your capital. That's up to you. But at a minimum, tap into the education that we're providing. That's mandatory. That's mandatory. Don't get off this call and go tap in. If you do that, what was the point of you sitting here for now an hour and 17 minutes? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. All right, so I'm gonna hand the mic over. I'll let you guys do your thing. I think Mr. Man wants to share a screen, and I'll let you guys take over. I'm gonna give my throat a break real quick.
Yeah, take it away, Mr. Man. Go ahead, brother.
All right, for sure. Thanks, Aqua. I saw your hand up. I'll give it to you just after this.
No,
here,
I was pointing at you actually. I was like,
okay,
I was
cool.
pointing at you. So take your time, brother. Take your time.
Most people look at DeFi and think of the human element of DeFi, but what we're going into is something completely different. It's not just DeFi for the human. There's also IoT. So I caught wind of this a couple weeks ago, and check this out here. They're talking about how DeFi can be utilized in different ways.
Tesla's latest unveiling of its futuristic cyber van, driverless taxis, and humanoid robots taking the tech world and social media by storm. Our next guest saying that Tesla's vision for the future, in particular, the robots here, could be a catalyst for stable coins. Let's talk about that. We want to bring in Anthony Pompliano. He's the founder and CEO of Professional Capital Management. Anthony, it's great to have you back here on Yahoo Finance with us. Let's talk to us about, we saw your Substack come out last week. It really caught our attention, just this catalyst that you see for stable coins on the heels of what we heard from Tesla last week. So walk us through your thesis and why you see that being a driver or an uptick here for stablecoin usage.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I think there's a lot of confusion in the market. People want to talk about artificial intelligence. They want to talk about machine learning. They want to talk about crypto, but it's all one big trade. It's all just automation. And ultimately, if you get the automation with machines, those machines are going to need to be able to transact with each other, and they're not going to be able to use 1 or 2 day settlement time money. So the beauty is that we now have these digital rails for money, which have instantaneous settlement. Now, a lot of people in the past have pointed to Bitcoin being one of those potential currencies, but I don't think that people or machines are going to want to spend their Bitcoin. If Bitcoin's going to be more valuable in the future, they're going to want to save that. It's like a savings account. Instead, they're going to want to use their checking account, which is digital stable coins. So they're going to want to be able to spend dollars across digital rails. And I think that we are watching the rise of the machines and the rise of automation really just usher in a new era for money. And it's going to be dollars in this new digital form.
That's not good for Dogecoin, which Elon Musk has been very vocal about in the past, Anthony. All just aside, I guess as we think about.
All right, and I do want to show you guys this other one here. So just give me a quick second to pull that one up.
Yo, that is fire, bro. That is mad fire. I watch Yahoo Finance. I usually have that on every sunrise, and I didn't catch that. That was a good find right there, bro.
Can I say something about that? You know what irritates me about videos like that? It's like the media, if you've noticed, is designed in such a way where it doesn't give people time to process everything. Like there's no elaboration on what he said. He just drops the information and like moves on, which again, we tend as human beings with everything that's going on in our lives, whether we think to believe this to be the case or not, we tend to have a short attention span. So, when he doesn't give the opportunity to speak further on that, even though that was such bombshell information, it doesn't give people the opportunity to sit down and digest it because now they're fixated on something else because he's about to come in and hammer it with some other breaking news, right?
Right.
It's like slow your world down and listen to detail. Like I tell the people in my community, the number one thing you have to do to become successful in these markets is just pay attention to detail. I learned that in the military. Paying attention to detail saved my life multiple times. And when you just zoom out and realize that this is a battlefield, like not to get, comparable, but it's like, it is. You have to pay attention to detail. You have to pick up on minor things that nobody else is. And when people are just rapping on the internet, pay attention to their words. Pay attention to their demeanor, their direction of their eyes, whether they flick their nose when they say something. Just it's so crazy that people don't do that. So that was a fire clip. I heard that from downstairs because I'm about to make a cup of coffee, but continue.
All right. So now that we have a deeper understanding into DeFi here, I want to show you guys this clip here. Cypress, can you pull this one up for me here? If you're still around. There we go. Check this out. This is a summary of what your world will look like in 3 minutes.
Run it.
Hopefully you'll have my slides now. Yes.
Yes.
All right,
we
good.
can see them.
All right, so, in the next decade or so, when I say decade, I'm talking about 10 to 15 years, we're going to see all sorts of amazing advances. Finally, we're going to have cars that drive themselves and don't crash. This is likely to happen in the next 2 or 3 years. We're going to have cars that fly themselves, literally flying cars, they're coming. We will have drones delivering almost everything. We won't need to have, Instacarts and so on, send human beings over, they can simply drone it over. We're going to have robotic housekeepers. If you remember Rosie from the Jetsons, she's coming. We're going to have robotic friends and companions. And this is really important in the West because it's, the pandemic of loneliness. And we're going to have AI doctors. Not only the magical mirrors that Helen showed us, but actually intelligent assistants who monitor our health, who have all of our data, and who can guide us better than human beings can. Well, I think we're going to see this within the next 5 years or so. And then we're going to have cures for all diseases, practically, almost every disease, including cancer. This is my life's mission, to cure cancer. And I'll tell you more about that. We will also have gene-edited plants so that we can grow food in the desert and all sorts of other amazing things. Gene-edited humans. Yes, this is coming.
I just want to add the growing food in the desert, that already exists. The Sahara Desert is greening up right now.
Yo.
And so is Jurassic Park. If you follow Google George Church and the work he's doing, he's working on bringing back the woolly mammoth, but these are coming. And then bionic enhancements. If you remember the $6 million man, Steve Austin, watch a couple of those shows. Yes, Steve Austin is coming in the next 10 to 15 years or so. And there's much, much more. We're talking about virtual worlds and holodecks. The next 3 or 4 years, the technology will be perfected to the point that we're going to be having these meetings on Mars or the moon or wherever else. 3D printed houses, electronics, household goods, space colonies, the next green revolution, the vertical farms, 3D printed meat. I'm going to talk more about this. Unlimited and almost free clean energy, it's coming. Commercial space exploration is coming, all happening at the same time. Because this is the history of technology, exponential. It took thousands of years to go from agriculture to pottery to the plow to mathematics. And voila, over the last 100 years, we've had advance after advance after advance. We are like those frogs in the water, which is getting hotter and hotter. We don't seem to realize what's going on here. Technology is advancing exponentially and making amazing things possible. We've known about computing for a long time. Our smartphones are more powerful than the crazy supercomputers of yesteryear. But it's everything computing touches: AI, robotics, 3D printing, virtual reality networks, digital medicine, you name it. Every technology which becomes information-based is advancing exponentially. Exponential technologies are converging and making them, science fiction possible. First of all, let's start with.
There we go. I just want to say this panel here is a group called the Change Makers, and one of the individuals on this panel is actually from the IMF. So these aren't just a group of nobodies. This is a group of somebodies, and they're known as the Change Makers. And what they do in our world, they're the ones who create the direction that we will be going into in terms of the economy. That's what I wanted to share.
Dang, that's wild. I'm gonna just say this: if we 3D printing homes, I definitely want to 3D print a pyramid home, bro, in the future. That straight up, I'm living in a pyramid, bro. You feel me? Well, yeah, that was, dude. That's pretty much everything that I've already visualized of what the future is gonna look like too. And what I'm always, being that guy in the corner of the room and annoying everybody talking about all this stuff, but this stuff is coming, man. I mean, that's a great share, Mr. Man. So let me just share what I got though. So what I got is pretty fire. And it kind of goes hand in hand with like the videos you might be seeing on my X. I'm over here saying XRPL is going to be the best in class institutional DeFi, and I'm getting this from the players, the big players on the Ripple team. So I got 4 different clips I want to share. But this first clip is basically Monica Long, who's the president of Ripple, and she's sharing what the future looks like for the XRPL and XRP. So just tap in here. Hold on, let me share my screen though. Actually, I'm not sharing my screen. Hold on one second. Show this again.
I got yelled at by Twitter keyboard warriors the other day because I said Swift isn't going away. I want to play a video clip eventually when everybody gets to their portion of that mention of the Swift ecosystem not going away and only scaling up with this new blockchain evolution.
All right, so tap in. Just hear what Monica Long says here. What best in class institutional DeFi. All right, hold on, tap in.
Relatively new entrant in the lineup for Ripple, if you will. So maybe interesting for the audience to hear a little bit about our journey. So we're adding. I mean, Brad mentioned stable coins, Futureverse. Kind of highlighted custody. How do we get there, and what sort of was that progression?
Yeah. So through our payments business, we had to solve a lot of problems to bring the benefits of doing payments on chain, which we all know is about speed, transparency, cost efficiency, bring those benefits to regulated institutions in a way that was seamless. So I think something many of us in the industry may underestimate is just the challenge of integrating blockchains with traditional systems, so payment systems. So that's been a long-standing priority of ours. And over time, we have built payout capabilities into more than 80 markets. We've also had to create and solve for creating liquidity across different fiat currencies as well as digital assets. And so that also as an operation is something that, those two things together, we think are some things that financial institutions can use, not just for payments, but for other use cases in the future. So that's kind of what sprouted this vision for Ripple to really become this end-to-end digital asset infrastructure provider for financial services to come to blockchain. And so the next piece was to bring in custody through the Medico acquisition. The RLUSD stablecoin is another kind of critical piece. And what's really exciting is we see XRP Ledger being best in class for institutional decentralized finance. So our priority is for all.
We can't hear you, Mr.
Oh, yeah. So best in class institutional DeFi. So when you guys hear me say this on TikTok, you hear me saying this on my videos I'm posting on X, I'm taking this directly from Monica Long. You know what I mean? So I'm aligning my opinion now with Monica Long's opinion. So,
and you know what's crazy too, bros, is since I just brought up keyboard warriors on Twitter, like a lot of people will talk crap about the fact that you say things like that and not even know that about your research background. Like a lot of the stuff that I share, that Mr. Mann shares, that Frank shares, none of this is opinionated research. It's all information from like these people on these panel discussions and in these documents that we read, that we're just like, we're more so relayers of information that's readily, unnoticed. I apologize. I just ate a power bar because I fast in the morning. Another thing that I want to touch base on that Monica Long just said is she mentioned how complex one thing that she sees that people don't actually understand about this space is how complex it is to actually integrate, blockchains into traditional financial systems. Like, and I see that amongst retail investors, especially the ones that get mad at me when I'm like, yo, like $100 XRP, I believe in that 100%. And I hope it happens because I got a lot of XRP, but like, let's be realistic on when that's going to take place. It's going to take time, like honest to God, but is it going to happen? Yeah. I mean, in my personal opinion, at some point in time, we're going to see a much higher XRP price to what that is. Who knows? Again, I probably won't sell my XRP because I'm going to use it in DeFi, but like, it's not just like overnight, like flip the switch, right? Like it's something that's going to be gradual. It's going to be gradual. And then once the infrastructure is laid, then it'll be sudden. But the infrastructure, as we've heard, proof of concept, sandboxes, regulatory clarity, custodial solutions, interoperability solutions, all these things are still, they're still being worked on. And we, as a mature retail investor, we should want that. Like we shouldn't want to deal with any more headaches like Sam Bankman-Fried or Terra Luna. Like you should be happy that this is taking time and that the space is maturing instead of rug pulling you. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna, but go ahead, bro.
But
all right, so
just imagine if.
Go ahead, Frank.
But just imagine if Ripple brings their on-demand liquidity on chain. Just imagine those numbers alone. They processing 30 billion worth of value. If they on chain in products, etc., damn. XRP is going to skyrocket, man, for sure.
That's real, bro. Well, this next part I want to share is basically, all right, so there's like 4 snippets I want to share of David Schwartz speaking on stage. But the first part is him speaking about a certain, I guess, mechanism. It's called the continuous auction mechanism that's built into the XRPL. Listen to what he breaks down right now and what that's going to do. And then just think about it, when you're debating other people about your favorite digital assets and you're like, XRP, it's the fastest, it's the cheapest. Well, it's going to be more than just the fastest and the cheapest. So tap in and listen. Let's all listen together with what David Schwartz is basically explaining, the possibilities that can happen on the XRPL. I don't know if other chains are going to be, copycatting and doing something similar, possibly, but this is, what the XRPL has going on. So tap in what David Schwartz is saying right here. So hold on one second. Let me just get it to the correct time.
Other unique features that are worth calling out. One of them is the continuous auction mechanism, which reduces impermanent loss. This is a fairly clever feature that reduces the losses due to arbitrage. If you're a token holder in the automated market maker, you hold a sort of share of the automated market maker's yield. Arbitrageurs will trade against the automated market maker when prices change and take some of the yield away. What this continuous auction mechanism does is it enables people to bid for the right to sort of be the first one to arbitrage. And if they pay, and so some of the money that would normally be made by arbitrageurs and be losses to the pool, part of impermanent loss, instead is yield from the auction mechanism.
So, you know, as more and more get educated on DeFi and they start understanding all the different perks in DeFi, I promise you, I think what he just explained, again, the continuous auction mechanism, that it's basically helping getting rid of impermanent loss, that is major, guys. And this is, again, has everything to do with DeFi, decentralized finance. So think about some institutional point of view. Institutions are like, yo, let's get on the XRPL. They got the continuous auction mechanism that's going to alleviate some of our impermanent loss. Go ahead, Doug.
I want to, am I unmuted? Yeah, there we go. I want to, just because David Schwartz was talking about reducing impermanent loss, right? Well, I was watching, hold on, I'm trying to find it real quick, 22 minutes and 30 seconds. I just want to share this video since we're on that tangent, and I shared, you know, video clips and fundamentals of Hedera bringing institutions into this space. And the whole idea of this video today is to show you guys that institutions are coming in the doors, opening for that, for them to have that capability. Reduction in impermanent loss is a very big thing. And since we've been DeFi mentors and we created the Wealth 28 Club in order to show people how we are involved in DeFi and how, you know, we get our digital assets working for us, and how, again, you can as well if you choose to go that route. But one of the main things and arguments that I've seen amongst people that are hesitant to get into this space is the terminology impermanent loss. And it's because a lot of people, they hear this terminology and then they just run from it instead of trying to understand it, or figuring out how to mitigate that, right? How to minimize impermanent loss. There's always going to be risk involved in crypto and investing in general. But the goal is, how can you take a strategic approach to mitigate that risk? And impermanent loss is one of the main risks in DeFi. We'll listen to what this individual rep from Saucer Swap says here. I'm going to share my screen just since we're on this tangent, just about a week or two ago, about mitigating impermanent loss and how Saucer Swap has this new ability for you to provide one-sided liquidity with Hedera or with HBAR, and how it mitigates impermanent loss. Take a second here and just listen to what he says. This is one of, I believe, the key developers at Saucer Swap Labs, if I'm not mistaken.
Interesting. And so back to you, Joseph, on Saucer Swap and the V2. So you mentioned all the improvements that came with V2. One feature that was introduced for V2 pool is auto pools. How has that feature improved user experience and liquidity management on your platform?
Yeah, so auto pools are the latest major addition to Saucer Swap, and they're based on the Ichi Active Liquidity Management, or ALM protocol. So they enable users to deposit a single asset into a vault, which sits atop a Saucer Swap version 2 pool. An algorithm will then take this user deposit and allocate it across a range of prices within that pool, and periodically rebalance the funds to continue earning fees at the current price of the pool as it changes. So Uniswap version 3 showed us that managing concentrated liquidity positions is notoriously difficult and time-consuming. Auto pools have undoubtedly improved the UX of Saucer Swap by allowing users to participate in V2 without the continuous effort of manually rebalancing their positions. There are drawbacks, of course. So auto pools may not capitalize on fees and rewards to the same extent as a diligent liquidity provider. But even so, they enable any user to maintain exposure to and earn the majority of their fees in their chosen deposit token, while also benefiting from its potential price appreciation. And it also follows that the risk of impermanent loss is reduced.
So I just wanted to play that. He talks about how it still gives you one-sided asset exposure, and you can still, excuse me, benefit from the price appreciation, right? While also reducing the risk of impermanent loss, because you're not in a two-sided liquidity pool, having to balance out the difference of the asset and price appreciation or price depreciation when you're inside a liquidity pool, right? And I know that this might be a lot of gibberish to people that don't understand this lingo, but that's why we created the Wealth 28 Club, for you to understand this lingo and how you can take the H bar that you're holding right now. Again, if you choose to do so, you can enter into these pools, these positions in DeFi that he's talking about, and you can earn liquidity on your digital assets, which is exactly why I stand by the ideology of I'm not selling my digital assets. Like, honest to God, at this point, if you're still associated with people that are fixated on selling their digital assets for fiat currency, you are so far behind in this digital adoption curve. You've therefore confirmed that you are watching the wrong people in this space. Like, if people on YouTube and Twitter, you're watching them, they're telling you to sell your crypto and start an Airbnb business or whatever type of real estate business or whatever, like, they're not tapped into what you're about to be able to do in the digital realm of things, where you're going to be able to invest in the metaverse and tokenize real world assets and earn yield on a real estate portfolio that's entirely digital. You know, I mean, and we're talking about that here at CyberX. Mr. Aqua's covered that multiple times on Zoom calls. You know, it's happening. We've shared so many documents from large organizations showing people that this is all taking place right now. So, I mean, it's such a time to be alive and get educated and join like-minded communities. But go ahead. Who's got the Mr. Aquaman? You got your stage back up? Go ahead.
Yeah. I got a few more clips from David on stage. And you know, earlier you had said that these guys, they'll just say stuff on stage and won't elaborate, right? Like, David is he's king of doing shit like that. But listen to what he talks about right now. Like, he kind of changed my whole perspective on LPs, because I was just looking at the LP as, oh, this is what you need to get in the liquidity pool to earn yield. But listen to his perspective on LPs. And he just says it like, you got to have the ear to catch it and hear it, because he doesn't elaborate really on it. But just tap in what he says here right now. Hold on one second here. Let me fast forward just a second.
Institutional DeFi feature. This is institutional lending. These are like mortgages or commercial loans. They're not over collateralized like DeFi loans. These are traditional loans. And they're enforced off ledger. So that means that the credit check, if the payments aren't made, there might be litigation. That all happens off ledger, but the funding all happens on ledger. So that means that if you're interested in funding the loan, you could pay into one of these lending pools, and as payments are made on the loan, you could receive money automatically from the ledger as those payments are made. And you could also use the loans as collateral. You could use your share of the payments as a form of payment. So it'd be very liquid for the holders of these loan pools.
So he says it'll be very liquid for the owners of these loan pools. So think about the power of your own liquidity by having your hands on a couple of LPs, and like the buying opportunities that you may have just by showing proof that you are an owner of one of these LPs that sit on the XRPL. So, you know
what's so crazy, bro, is one of the high net worth individuals that sits in my circle about 2 years ago when I first met him, he says to me, "Hey, Sai, why are you investing in XRP?" And I was just talking about price appreciation and how I trade it, because at that point in time in my life, that's all XRP meant to me. I was like, you know what, I trade it and I hold it. I bought it back in 2017, and it's a good pair to day trade because it's not as volatile as other digital assets in the space, as you all have most likely noticed, right? So with that being said, he was like, bro, you're going to be able to be your own bank in the future with XRP. And I was like, nah. But then, right at the end of last year, rolling into this year, I started getting into paying attention to what David Schwartz was talking about, the AMM feature, and then how that launched in March. Now we now have this. I was like always aware of DeFi because I've been staking HBAR, staking my Ethereum, so on and so forth, but never really actually understood the expansion of DeFi and what you could really do individually with these assets. And then I was like, yo, this is happening on the XRPL now. It got me so motivated, and I don't understand why more people in the XRP community aren't motivated by understanding that in the near future, we're about to have a capability with our assets, particularly in this case, XRP, that has never been available outside of this year. Like, this is all happening for the first time. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
If you talk to somebody in the ETH community about DeFi, they're like, dude, that's so like freaking 2021, bro. Like, I don't even want to talk about it, you know? Like, they're used to it.
Yeah.
And we're at a point right now where in the XRP community, the XRP community is like, it's a scam. It's like, yo, it's not. It's been here for a minute, and it's only about to scale farther, way farther than it's ever been before, you know? So
100%, bro. And you know, it seems like the sentiment too amongst all these, you know, high-ranking individuals in the space, like Monica Long, David Schwartz, the people that you guys were sharing earlier, you know, what is it, the founder of Aave and the co-founder of Chainlink, you know, they're all on this sentiment that institutional DeFi. So tap into what David Schwartz is even saying as well. So it all comes together. And if you put all these guys in a room, I'm pretty sure they're all going to be like, you know, really aligned. It seems like, you know what I mean? What happened?
People on Twitter would rather pay attention to David Schwartz Twitter deciphers and like Twitter codes, you know, like his little things, instead of actually listening to what he says.
100%.
Like people probably pay more attention to riddles and believe riddles more than they believe like actual detailed research, which is mind blowing to me.
Yeah, bro. I would say look at all of it. Well, all right. So tap in. Listen to what David Schwartz says. This is his opinion, right? He makes it loud and clear. But again, like, do we have the capability of doing what David Schwartz can do? Like, can we go and be the CTO of Ripple? Like, I don't know. So tap in, all right?
Know what you are. You have to know what you aren't. But I just want to point out that, like, we think institutional DeFi is probably for the next year or two where a lot of the action is and probably where the most growth is going to be. We could be wrong about that. And that doesn't mean that other things are not going to take off as well. Like we don't have a crystal ball any more than anybody else.
So yeah, that's it, you know, but again, that's his opinion. And I align my opinion where I'm investing at. And this guy is the CTO of Ripple. This guy's extreme. Like, I love David Schwartz. So I'm going to align with this guy until further notice. But, you know, this is where I align my opinion from, guys. This is where I get my opinion from. This is the reason why, you know,
I agree with you that if you take a look at all the blockchains that are out there, all the digital assets that are out there, it's honestly at the point where if they don't and aren't building a DeFi ecosystem, they're probably not going to be one of the ones that survives fully to a certain extent, because the future is going to be DeFi. You know, these blockchain organizations, not all of them, depending on the use case, but most of them are going to need to be able to survive and thrive in a DeFi native ecosystem. Like, be able to connect the different chains, have, you know, interoperable solutions integrated into their platforms, you know, be able to be KYC verified, all this stuff that's happening. So be able to be regulatory compliant. Like, I do a lot of research. I know you guys do a lot of research on, you know, companies and organizations that are literally sitting in on these panel discussions and these open meetings and forums, or hosting them with regulators. You know, a lot of people right now are just upset about the lack of price appreciation. But to refer back to my previous statement, why I love DeFi is because you don't care about price at a certain point in your DeFi and investing journey. You really start to let go of the price of these digital assets and start to look at them as assets. It doesn't matter if XRP price is 50 cents or $50. It can do the same thing no matter what price it's at. You know, people are so fixated on the price of these digital assets because we've been manipulated into previous bull market cycles, when this next one is about to surpass all the other cycles, and people are going to lose their wealth because they don't know how to maintain it, grow it, scale it, and keep it after this next cycle. They're going to sell it back into fiat, and that worked the previous two cycles. But we're on the brink of economic freaking, I don't even want to get into that, but y'all know what's going on with BRICS long term, the United States dollar, global superpowers changing hands. It happens every, you know, 80 to 100 years, and we're on that turn point where I'd say probably over the next 10 to 20 years, it's something really going to really hit, like really hit the fan. Like, we're on the brink, and this digital transformation is all a part of that. I wanted to see what Frank has, because I know that he hasn't been on the stage. So, but I just wanted to take a second real fast. Shout out to the 827 people that I can see that are listening to this call. Really do appreciate you guys for coming out. Our goal here today, no matter if you came in early or late, was to show you guys that institutions are interested in DeFi. We are 110% early in this space. I know that people hate hearing it. Trust me, I hate researching it because I don't like to hear that we're early either. But instead of being pessimistic about it, I like to be optimistic and see it as an opportunity and understand that over the course of the next couple of months / years, we're about to experience and live through, and we are living through it right now, something so transformational that when we look back in time, 5 years, 10 years from now, if you network with the right people, you commit yourself to the right communities, and you tap into the right information, you are going to be very, very happy that you did so. Very, very happy that you did so. You know, there are methods to fix that dopamine hit that you need when you're investing in these markets. And I firmly believe that DeFi is the integration of both trading and investing. You get that short-term fix of daily profits that you get from trading, if you're not losing money, of course. And you also get that comfortable feeling of holding a blue chip asset for the long term, because in DeFi, you don't have to sell, you know, to make money. So it's the perfect cohesion of what's going on right now, whether you're a trader or you're an investor. DeFi is like the baby. If trading and investing came into fruition in the digital space and had a baby, DeFi is that baby, you know? I highly suggest you guys get educated. Again, I don't recommend anybody expose their capital to these markets unless they know what they're doing, which is, again, why myself and Mr. Aqua created an entire course showing you how we physically exposed our capital to this space to learn DeFi and to get involved in DeFi and to figure out how to get our digital assets working for us. And we're constantly thriving and looking at ongoing developments in this space. Like I said, if you come into the community, you get recorded or live access to Zoom calls each and every single week. The Discord, Frank here and Anthony, who's not on this call, running our CyberX research team, are literally dropping hundreds of fundamentals and documents every single week that never reach the mainstream. Mr. Mann's got his platform where he's sharing valid research, regulations, developments that are happening in this space that will never make it on CNBC, Fox News, ABC, or any YouTube channel at that. And, you know, now's the time to go on into an educational platform or join a community or start tapping into people that actually know what the heck is going on and not just fixating your attention on Fibonacci's, bullish moon boy price predictions, and indicators, retail indicators. All right. Anyways, that's my spiel. Hopefully you guys follow these other gentlemen here. They both have Twitters and YouTube platforms, so make sure that you give everybody here a follow. Frank, go ahead, bro. Take it away.
Okay, can I share my screen with you? I have some documents ready about institutional DeFi and how it's going to look like.
Hit present at the bottom of your screen, and then I will add it to the stage.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You all see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to show you guys why I think of what institutional DeFi is and why I think the XRP ledger will capture great value from it. What is institutional DeFi? It's not my words. That's, you can all see who's saying this. The real world asset tokenization, DeFi protocols. And I just want to touch on some points. I think the XRP ledger is going to capture an amazing piece of the pie of this because of the automatic market makers, the AMM pools. They want to make lending pools, decentralized identity, currently voting for this, the DIT amendments. They want to build oracles and the EVM sidechains. This is why the partnerships with XLR is so great, because they allow other blockchains to interact with the XRP mainnet and the XRP EVM sidechains. So they bring so much more value to the XRPL ledger. Why the XLR bridge is so important, I just highlighted in this text. The XRP EVM sidechain is set to launch with XLR as the exclusive bridge to source the native gas token to the sidechain, aka the XRPR. It's the basically the wrapped XRP. XLR can also be used to bridge other fungible tokens and to the XRPL mainnet. and the other 55 blockchains the XLR network has. The Ripple engineering team has also been working closely with Parasites to expand the interoperability of the XRPL. Lately, the Pierce team already integrate MetaMask with the XRPL with an EVM sidechain. We all can participate in their let me see. They have an announcement recently, which we can earn becoming an early adopter at that, and we can earn 10,000 XRP in prizes for being an early adopter. So I suggest everybody set up your free XRP wallet, and you can earn 10,000 words in XRP from being an early adopter. Yeah. And why the recently real USD stablecoin is so important for the XRPL ledger, because when Cardano had their stablecoin, their TVL increased by 461%. So that's amazing. If the real USD comes on chain for the XRP ledger.
Can I stop you real quick, Frank? Real quick.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Because I didn't know that. So when Cardano released their stablecoin, the TVL increased by 461%, right?
Yes.
And what you're saying is, in comparison to what's happening, Cardano has a way more developed DeFi ecosystem, if I'm not mistaken, than the XRPL, correct? We could probably look at DeFi Llama and confirm that. Which I'm actually going to. If you guys wouldn't mind, can you pull that up and see what? Can one of you guys pull up what the TVL is locked on Cardano right now?
Yeah, I'll bring it up.
Right now, we're in the process of seeing the RLUSD launched and integrated, and you're speculating that if that integrates with the XRPL, it's going to bring massive amounts of TVL on chain, which is actually exactly what Monica Long has said in previous videos and panels with David Schwartz. How the RLUSD is actually going to help to scale DeFi on the XRPL. I'm actually pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, that David Schwartz said that to everybody at XRP Las Vegas.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
He did. Yes.
So
250 million sits on Cardano, by the way.
250 TVL locked on Cardano. So, looking at the XRPL, if there's $14 million, according to DeFi Llama, locked on the XRPL right now. I'll share my screen here. Let's look at Cardano real quick.
It's got to be more, though, too, on the XRPL right now, because you got, Orchestra Finance, XP Market, that's got some liquidity locked up on it as well.
215 million. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think on DeFi Llama, there's still some platforms that aren't integrated with DeFi Llama yet, which is understandable because it takes time. But yeah, if we look at the XRPL, I like that. I don't want to call it inaccurate speculation, but again, we don't have a crystal ball, but I like that logical speculation. Like, you're piecing together past data and history that when Cardano launched their stablecoin, it increased TVL significantly. And we're attempting to compare that same scenario to what's happening on the XRPL right now with the launch of their stablecoin, or Ripple's stablecoin, and how multiple Ripple, representatives have stated that the RLUSD is going to help scale the DeFi ecosystem and especially enhance real-world asset tokenization on the XRPL. So, but here you can see total value locked according to DeFi Llama. Yeah, this is off, I'd say, but $14 million, it's still probably not any more than $200 million, like Cardano, just saying. So, yeah, something interesting is cooking up. I didn't mean to cut you off, Frank, so I just wanted to chime in, but if you wanted to continue your flow, you're more than welcome, bro.
No problem, man. But why I think the real USD bring more institutional adoption of the XRPL is because they want compliance and regulatory assets. And yeah, we all know the case with tech. she
Yeah.
is still going on. So XRP is not for an official institution, not the right thing to invest in, but they can invest in the real USD. We and the XRPL can pool it in AMM pools, so we can use our XRP and earn yield on it. So that's why I think, the stablecoin will bring more adoption for us. Yeah, that's why I think.
Yeah, beautiful, man. Beautiful. I absolutely love it. I didn't know if you guys had anything to add, but we are going on almost 2 hours. So if you guys have more information, we can continue to rap about it. I'm always up for that. But we are coming on 2 hours, so it's up to you guys. What do you guys want to continue to do? You want to stay on? Or you guys got more juice, or are we're gonna wrap it up and say our part for the day?
I'm good to wrap it up. But before we do that, though, I do want to just add to what Frank was saying there. He was talking about on-chain oracles on the XRPL. This is an old video. It's literally 30 seconds, if that. But I want to bring this up here. It has to do with the oracle being utilized in R3's Corda with this back in the day. Hold on a second.
Yeah, pull it up. I'll add it to the stage. While Mr. Man is doing that, while he's pulling that up, we'll end the video here. Really do appreciate you guys for tapping in with us today. I cannot stress enough that now is the time for education. If you hear from the beginning and you saw this entire video breakdown, I told you guys at the beginning we were going to give you guys some enlightening information, show you all that institutions are adopting DeFi. You should definitely get involved in furthering your education, not necessarily deploying in the space because you don't want to expose yourself to something you don't understand. I highly suggest you attempt to understand it first. We've built a platform in order for you to do that. If you head over to cyberxtrading.com, visit the Well28 Club, consider subscribing. We'd love to have you on the team. We'd love to further help you educate yourself on what's going on in this space. I know upcoming, myself, Mr. Aqua, and Mr. Man will all be at XRP Unleashed. So I look forward to that, meeting up with you guys in November in Houston. And maybe we could do a live sit down if I can figure out how to get some good cameras and mics to integrate with my computer. Maybe we can do a live in-person call, when we're all chilling together in Houston. Outside of that, make sure that you guys go follow each and every single one of these individuals before Mr. Man plays this video for you guys. Mr. Man over on Twitter and YouTube, Mr. Aqua as well on Twitter and YouTube, and Frank, head of our head of our CyberX researchers, is sitting here on the channel today. So thanks for coming out, Frank. He's also got a new X profile that he's running as well at CyberX Research. So go check each and every single one of these individuals out. I cannot thank you guys enough. Mr. Man, go ahead and take it away, bro.
Okay, so for this demo, we need 4 Corda nodes: party A, party B, a notary cluster, and an oracle. So for this particular demo, this oracle node actually contains 2 oracle services. One is the XRP settlement oracle, and the other is an FX rate oracle. So it's just easier to have them on one node for this demo.
Beautiful. That's all I want to show, man. Just the XRP oracle that'll soon come.
Who is this? What is this from?
This is from R3, the Corda Settler, from back in 2021 when they were doing demos of it. I dug this one up here when I found that and heard that. I was elated, just elated.
That's so crazy, bro. As it doesn't matter if that's hype or not, bro. That's crazy that they deliberately said that, because it just disproves anybody that said that they've never tested or tried to utilize XRP when they just ran a demo specifically mentioning XRP. So I'm just saying the researchers continue to be proven right. And that we don't give any moon boy speculation here, but we keep trying to tell people like stuff's happening behind the scenes that not a lot of people are paying attention to. So, but anyways, it was a pleasure having you gentlemen on the call today, man. I appreciate you guys. If you want to say anything before we head out and end this call, now's your time, man.
No, this was a solid one. Thanks for having me on this one, man. I appreciate that.
As always.
Yeah, this is a solid one too as well. Looking forward to next month, Lincoln in Houston. XRP Unleashed is going to be a dope time. There's going to be I think there's going to be a lot of people over there too. So it could be a really good, gathering. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Legendary moments, right? So
Absolutely. I heard there's only 5 tickets that remain for Houston as well. So I'm not sure who those 5 people are going to be, but like just add to Aquaman said there, I'm looking forward to chopping it up with you guys out there as well when XRP Unleash drops down on November 3rd.
Let's go.
All right, man. Blessings to you guys. Everybody take it easy.
Take care.